Back now with Greater LA on KCRW. I'm Steve Chiotakis. There is no little Kyiv, no Ukraine town in Los Angeles, but according to the 2010 census, there are more than 26,000 people in LA County who claim some Ukrainian ancestry. And right now, many of them feel anxious about the tens of thousands of Russian troops that are amassed along the country's border with Russia. And in a show of solidarity over the weekend, dozens of people rallied near the Federal Building on Wilshire Boulevard in Westwood to show their support.
Hands off Ukraine! Russia! Hands off Ukraine!
They held signs like "Stop Russian Aggression" and "Stop Putin." They waved Ukrainian and American flags. It was a rally organized by the Ukrainian Cultural Center here in L.A., Irina Vasilkova was there. She is Cultural Diplomacy Program Director at the Ukrainian Art Center, which is part of the Cultural Center here in Los Angeles. Irina, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me here, Steve. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to talk more about what's going on in Ukraine right now and how we feel about the current situation.
When I say dozens of people showed up, I saw pictures, and it looked like a good handful of people were there. Tell us a little bit about the protest and who came out and the message that you were trying to send.
Oh, yes, the pictures didn't lie, and there were dozens of people, up to 100, and there were not only Ukrainians. Probably you have seen the waving flags of some other countries, our friends and allies who came to support us, and there were also representatives of ex-Soviet countries such as Georgia, Lithuania, and Belarus. Of course, there were our American friends, and there were also Iranian friends who were struggling for democracy, and we faced the same enemy. We gathered there to deliver a very important message that the fate of peace and stable future of the whole world right now is being defended on the territory of my motherland, Ukraine, which is an independent and sovereign state whose people of virtue and education are steadfast in following the path of democratic development. We chose this way. We are very passionate about it. We are not coming back to Soviet Union. We have no nostalgia for that regime. We are actively protesting against this aggression of the Russian Federation, which threatens not only the territorial integrity of our country, but human rights and freedoms. It's a huge threat to international security system on the global arena. So this insidious hybrid war has multiple dimensions, and we were there to expose them and protest against them.
You have friends and family still in Ukraine, right? What are they saying to you, and how are you all coping right now?
I do have a lot of friends, and all my family is back there in Ukraine. I'm staying in touch with them every day. By the way, I just talked to my mom a couple of minutes ago before this show. They are very thankful to all our allies and friends and countries all over the world. This is the first time we feel that the world takes it seriously. And they've not just expressed their concerns and worries, but support us indeed, providing us weapons. Officials of foreign countries are visiting Ukraine, and this is a very strong message to Putin that he's going to face serious consequences. Of course, it's scary. You know, if you follow Ukrainian media and Western media and American media, you can probably notice that Ukrainian media is trying to keep people's morale high, not to disseminate panic. But the message is still the same. We know our enemy. We know who we're dealing with. People are ready to defend their motherland. So they have a strong sense of pride and dignity, and they're ready to protect the honor of their home, which belongs to them. Ukraine belongs to Ukrainians, and there is no compromise.
What do you say, Irina, when you hear Vladimir Putin say that he has no intention of invading Ukraine? Of course, when you look at the 100,000 plus troops along the border there, the Russian troops who are there, that sort of says something else. But also, what do you say when Putin says this is a security issue for Russia? He sees the expansion of NATO. He sees the expansion of the EU, farther to the east, and that it's encroaching upon sort of the Russian border, and that he's trying to protect his own people. What do you say to that?
This is ridiculous. Ukraine is an innocent country. We are a peaceful country. We gave away our nuclear weapon. We are no threat to anyone. All we want to live in peace, prosperity, and of course this is the threat to Putin's dictatorship that is spreading propaganda to his people. He cannot provide any better cause for the Russian population to believe in strength of Russia, because economically Russia is a poor country. Besides showing his military muscle and using old decrepit Soviet methods of war and intrusion, you cannot come to table negotiating around the peace with a gun on the table. Definitely the whole world can see who the real aggressor is.
What is one thing, Irina, that you would want people here in LA to know about Ukraine, about the people of Ukraine and the culture there?
We are a peaceful nation, and Ukraine is a beautiful country with a very rich history and an amazing cultural heritage. And every piece of our culture and every artifact, whether it's a painting, sculpture, or intangible piece of art like a performance, dance, a song, everything there exudes love for motherland and aspiration for freedom, which we believe so strongly in. The Russian government is trying to rewrite the history and spread a lot of lies that Ukraine is an orphan country that belongs to Russia. We are coming to save them. And if history can be rewritten by people, folklore and culture cannot. So, and we would like to share the beauty of our culture, a nice piece and a mosaic of multicultural Los Angeles. And we do have a lot of events of cultural outreach through these meaningful experiences of educational programs, holding festivals and seminars with scholars and exhibitions, which show that Ukrainian land is a peaceful land with people who love it and who are ready to lay down their souls and bodies for desired freedom.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us today. I know it is a very tumultuous time in Ukraine, in your home country, and with your family and friends as well, in your homeland. Irina Vasilkova, Cultural Diplomacy Program Director over at the Ukrainian Art Center here in LA. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.